Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here for Love and Hip Hop New York, season 7, episode 1. It looks like Peter, Amina, and Tara isn't going to be back. Well, it looks like Peter is going to be back, but it doesn't seem like he's going to have a big as a role as he did when Amina and Tara was on the show. And if that's the case, then good, because we all was about sick of they asses and they fuck shit. But anyways, let's just jump into it. So we start off with Cardi B. Her music has been doing good. And, she meets up with her sister Hennessy in this, fancy car or whatever. And they talk just alike. And I think we got introduced to Hennessy last season. But, yeah, they talk just alike or whatever. And, yeah, so double trouble. And Cardi is saying, when I was in the hood, I had like 3 haters, so it was easy for me to keep my eyes on them or whatever. But now I got like 1,000 people that hate on me in one day, and it be killing me mentally and all this other stuff. She's still with Jailbird Tommy or whatever, and he's still talking about her popping out babies, and she's not with it right now. And she's like, and when he gets out in a year, and is he going to get his life right? What is he going to do? And Cardi is like, she need to have sex with him one more time just to see if it's worth it. I'm just like, girl. But in the process of this, Hennessy is trying to give her advice as well or whatever on what she should do. Anyways, we get the Creep Squad, the original Creep Squad. Um, Rich Dollars and DJ Self, they're at his new restaurant or whatever. And well, I don't know if they was at his new restaurant. I know he was saying that he had a restaurant, but I'm not sure if the restaurant that they was in was his or whatever. I can't remember. But anyways, he's telling Self that he wants to, slow down or whatever. He getting too old to be playing these games, and he wants to find the right one. And Self is like that, Rich is tripping and everything. And he was like, everybody know, once a creep, always a creep. I was just like, so you okay with being 60 something years old, still in the club, chasing after these young girls, saying, "Hey baby, where my hug at?" Like, nigga. Like, but I mean, whatever floats your boat. I mean, whatever. Anyways, Cisco, he shows up, and he talks about the beef that him and Rich had or whatever last year, but everything is all good in the hood now. And then we get introduced to Felicia Pearson, aka Snoop, and we all know she's from The Wire or whatever. She walks in and everything and is telling about herself, how she's, an entrepreneur, an author, an actor, and all this other stuff. And boy, that Baltimore accent, Lord have mercy, that shit is thick. That she got or whatever. But anyways, she's telling them that she's trying to start, her own label or whatever, her own record label, and that she needs help and everything. And I'm just like, and you going to these motherfuckers for help? I mean, I know Snoop, she know a lot of people in the industry or whatever, rappers and stuff. She's been in, different rappers' videos and everything. And I'm like, you couldn't have asked some of these other people, that's in the industry that for help. You asked these motherfuckers. I was like, I mean, child, I guess. But anyways, she's saying that she ain't with that creep shit or whatever. The guys is cool, but she ain't with that. She was like that. She was like that. Creeps play games, and that she created the game. And then they checking this girl out at the bar or whatever, and we all know it's Snoop's girlfriend. I was just like, Mona, you starting your bullshit already with this fake shit now. Like, we already know it's Snoop's girl, whatever, that they checking out at the bar and everything. And Self, he's like, I bet you, $100 that you can't get that and all this other stuff. And they all betting her and everything. And so she walks over there up on her and everything, and she's telling her to just play along, that she betted the guys $100 and all this other stuff, that she couldn't get her and everything. And she's playing along with it or whatever, and the guys acting all shocked and surprised, like, whatever. Anyways, we get Yandy. She's talking about, she's talking about how Mendices wanted the kids to stick together and everything. when he got locked up or whatever. But she hasn't seen Little Mendeecees in like the last 3 months. And, she wants to fix things between her and Samantha. You guys know we got introduced to Samantha last season. Samantha says that, in the 4 years that she's known Yandy, that, she never once tried to reach out. So for her to try to reach out now is like a joke and all this other stuff. And, she's saying that she allowed Little Mendeecees, to stay with them or whatever leading up to his sentencing because, she didn't know when he was going to go to jail and blase, blase. And she was like, yeah, Yandy tends to forget that that's her son and not Yandy's son and everything. And, Yandy has, pretty much Yandy is going to have to learn how to deal with her if she wants to see, Little Mendeecees again. And, Samantha is telling her, like, we got some issues that we got to work out. And Yandy is like, she never knew that it was any issues or whatever. And I'm just like, now, see, Yandy, this is what I be talking. Yandy be trying to act so oblivious sometimes to, like, the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she be trying to act like she don't be knowing or whatever. Like, bitch, you knew, okay? Like, but anyways, Samantha is like, you never cared enough to, find out if it was an issue or whatever. And, Yandy is saying that, Samantha never has a problem with, her picking up Mendeecees, Little Mendeecees after school, and paying for, these different classes or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Samantha is like, you pay for one class or whatever, and you think that you deserve an award and everything. And, Samantha is like, that he has never lived with them. It's just that his father was battling a 5-year, was battling a case for 5 years or whatever, so she allowed him to, stay with them, and, and whatnot. And, Samantha is saying that Yandy be having babysitters and all these people around her child that, she don't know and all this other stuff. And Yandy is like, well, that's your fault because anybody that's going to be around my son, I'm going to make sure I know them very well and everything. I'm like, well, Yandy kind of got a point there or whatever. But then, Samantha was letting us know that she has sole custody of her son and everything. And, Samantha says that Yandy didn't take the time out to, call her to tell her about, taking Little Mendeecees to see Big Mendeecees in jail and all this other stuff. And, Yandy sitting up here talking about she didn't think she had to call because, Mendeecees is her husband and, she gonna do what he say and all this other stuff. And Samantha is like, you can't do what you want to because y'all do not have custody of him. And I felt Samantha on that. It's like, at the end of the day, Yandy, this is still his mom. Regardless of what Mendeecees said, when it comes to their child, that's still his mother. And for you to sit up here and take that boy to this prison, and you knew from last season how Samantha felt about that shit, that was fucked up for you to do. That was fucked up for you to do. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't with that shit. But anyway, Samantha is pretty much popping off on her, and like she said, she made it very clear that she didn't want her son to be in their environment, which I definitely can say Samantha has always made that clear. She has, but yeah, anyways, moving on from that, and she was calling Yandy an idiot or whatever, and she ain't had time to no longer talk to her or hold a conversation with her and walked off. Anyways, moving on from that, we get Kimbella, and she's like, I'm still pretty. Her and Juelz Santana, they having some kind of photo shoot. And, he's saying that he hasn't dropped the album in a minute, due to some legal issues that he's had, but he want to get back in the game or whatever. And she rather him, record in his studio that they got in their house or whatever. And he's like, ain't no big artist fixing to be coming to my house to record or whatever. And, Kimbella is expressing how he cheated in the past or whatever. And, if he gonna do it again, she's gonna die and he's gonna help her kill her. I was just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But, anyways, he's saying that he's not gonna be messing with no girls in the studio. He's not gonna be messing with the groupies or nothing like that. And, he wants Yandy to help him. And Kimbella like, who? Because, her and Yandy then had a falling out after the wedding and all this other stuff. And, she hasn't spoken to her in a few months. And she's like, she's tried to reach out, but haven't gotten no response. Juelz is like that. Y'all need to, y'all need to get that shit together. He doesn't like the fact that they're not speaking and everything because they're family at the end of the day. Moving on from that, we get Cardi again. She's performing her song, one of her songs on stage with her producer. And her producer, is all up on her and all this other stuff as they're performing the song. And, once the performance is over with, her and her producer, and his name is Swift, they're talking and all this other stuff. And, she's like, she's still with Tommy, but she likes to flirt with Swift and all this other stuff and blase. Bianca, she comes over or whatever, and she's like, this your new boo and all this other stuff. And Cardi is like, no, this just my producer or whatever. And Bianca ain't buying it, just like the rest of us ain't buying this bullshit neither. You know what I'm saying? And, Cardi, she's just trying to, she's swearing up and down. It's just all business and blase. So, moving on from that, we get Remy and Pap or whatever, and we see her performing her song, all the way up with, Fat Joe and French Montana. And, Pap, he's pretty much proud of her and all this other stuff, and they're backstage talking. And Rem says, she tells him that, she was kind of skeptical about him being her manager at first, but he really has been doing a good job. And, Pap, he's hyped to hear that and everything. And he's like, since he's been doing such a good job, with Remy, he wants to take on a couple more clients or whatever. He was managing her, while she was still locked up and everything, when everybody turned their backs on them. He brings up the whole baby deal because you guys remember last season, if he gave her dream wedding, then, she was supposed to give him a baby. And she was like, I lied. And she's like, this is the worst time right now to, be trying to have a baby and everything. And which I do agree. I understand that she did make this promise or whatever. But, Pap does have to understand, too, that this would be the worst time right now for her to have a baby while she still, while she got this hype going for her right now. You know what I'm saying? And, everything that, her and Fat Joe is trying to do or whatever. And, he's talking, and I guess he kind of starting to understand it or whatever. But, he's talking about how he wants to have twins and all this other bullshit. I was like, child. Anyways, moving on from that, we get, Snoop. She's talking to her, she's taking her girl out somewhere or whatever. And, she met the girl last year in Chicago or whatever while she was shooting the movie. I think probably that Chirac movie or whatever. I still have yet to see it, but I did hear a lot of bad reviews on it. But, they both are pretty much in their confessionals explaining how they met and all this other stuff. And, I guess they was at some kind of food truck or something or whatever. And, her girl was like that she didn't want to eat there. And Snoop was like, man, stop acting bougie and all this other stuff. And, Snoop was like that she convinced her to move out, she convinced her girl to move with her to New York and everything. And, Snoop is thanking her for that and all this other stuff. And, and she, Snoop is saying, thank you for letting me turn you out or whatever. And her girl is like, that I'm not gay or whatever, but I am gay for Snoop. I fell in love and all this other stuff. Cool, whatever, and she's saying that she has a 13-year-old son and everything, that she left, she left him with his dad back in Chicago and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, what is with all these females leaving their kids behind? I mean, what is with all these females leaving their kids behind to, follow the person that they in love with, especially when you ain't been with her that damn long. But anyways, apparently she's an actress and a businesswoman, and she wants to do her thing out there too. And Snoop says that she supports her. So moving on from that, Yandy, she's doing a photo shoot with Bianca for her mixtape or whatever. And I'm just like, wow. Like, well, why do we need to do this big ass photo shoot for a mixtape? But anyways, Juelz, he comes through and he's pretty much telling Yandy the same thing that he told Kimbella or whatever. And then, she's telling him, like, that she wasn't there for a lot of things leading up to my wedding, like the bridal shower and a whole bunch of other stuff. And, whatever. So she pretty much is like, Kimbella knows where to find her. She wants to talk and all this other stuff. And then they talk about, getting his music back on track or whatever. Moving on from that, we get Cardi. She's talking about how people is always coming for her teeth and everything. And, she's ready to get them fixed and all this other stuff. And, I mean, I'm glad that Cardi got her teeth fixed. But I'm kind of like, I wish she didn't get them fixed. The reason that she got them fixed, is just kind of like, I wish she wouldn't have got them fixed because, she felt like people was bullying her and everything. Because people going to talk about you. Folk is going to talk about you. And it is hard sometimes when you are on a certain platform and everything and you're at a certain level and it's just a whole bunch of people coming at you at once or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It is a lot to deal with and everything. But, Cardi, just, try not to let that stuff get to you, you know what I'm saying? And, just keep your head up and keep on doing what you do, you know what I mean? Because folk gonna talk about you till the day you die. And even, hell, even in the afterlife, they still gonna be talking about your ass, you know what I'm saying? So, but, her producer, Swift, he's there with her. And he's on FaceTime with, his girl that he's been with for 2 years or whatever. She's out in London and everything. And, she's feeling some type of way because they don't speak every day ever since, he's been working with Cardi. And, she doesn't want to see him turning up with her and all this other stuff. And, he's pretty much like that Cardi doesn't know that he has a girlfriend and all this other stuff. And he wants to kind of keep it that way right now because I guess he want to see where things go with him and Cardi or whatever. But, moving on from that, we get Snoop again, and her girlfriend, they're at dinner this time, and Snoop is out in New York shooting an independent film. And then next thing fans come up to Snoop and all this other stuff to take a so-called picture or whatever. I was just like, you could tell they sent them girls in just to fuck up the whole atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? Because like, really, like, I mean, I fucks with Snoop, but I'm just saying, like, But, anyways, I mean, she ain't been really doing too much like that, lately. I mean, like I said, I know that she did the whole Chirac movie last year or whenever it was or whatever, but, I mean, But, anyways, the girls is coming up to her or whatever, and her girlfriend is telling them like, excuse me, we're having dinner right now and everything, which is it is understandable, you know what I'm saying, that when it is an intimate setting like that, you don't want the wave of a whole bunch of fans, to be coming up to you or whatever, you know what I'm saying, to try to take pictures and all that stuff. But yeah, she's telling them like, that they're trying to have dinner and all this other stuff, and they still being disrespectful, touching all up on her, touching all up on Snoop or whatever. And one of the girls is like, I don't usually go that way, but you know what I'm saying? And then the girlfriend, she pops up or whatever, and she's like, I'm her woman and all this other stuff, and you're not gonna disrespect me and everything. Snoop trying to calm her down and all this other stuff. And Snoop is like that the girls didn't do nothing wrong. I'm like, no, they kind of did. They could have been more respectful about it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, her girlfriend is like, and I don't even remember the girl's name because I keep on saying her girlfriend. I'm gonna try to learn it by next week, y'all. But anyways, she's telling Snoop like, I had a whole life and career before you and all this other stuff, and I'm tired of living in your shadow. And I'm like, well, that's what you signed up for the minute that you moved out there with her. Like, you knew this, like, you know what I mean? And she tells her that she ain't getting no ass tonight or whatever. But anyways, moving on from that, we get Yandy and Kimbella. So Yandy, she's on her laptop or whatever, but I guess FaceTiming with her assistant and everything. Kimbella comes in pretty much dismissing the assistant, talking about some, hi Toya, how are you? I need to talk to Yandy or whatever. Thank you, and all this other stuff. I was like, and Yandy was like, bitch, like what the fuck? Like we ain't talked in months, and you just coming up in here like trying to regulate shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, Kim, she feels like Yandy didn't reach out to her and all this other stuff. Yandy is pretty much telling Kim Bella, like, you're a selfish bitch. You know what I'm saying? And, Yandy brings up the wedding and how Kim made everything about her. And Yandy says, Yandy was saying, telling Kim, that, Kim didn't understand why she had to be in the back or whatever, when nobody can see her and everything. And Kim was like, I mean, because I wanted to sit by you. What the fuck? You know what I mean? And, she, and pretty much Kim Bella is trying to say that Yandy is full of shit. She's like, how dare you, yo? How dare you? How dare you? She kept on saying that shit or whatever. And, Yandy is like, out of everybody that I've been going through a lot of shit with this whole Mendeecees situation. And you not there, and Yandy, she starts to break down and tells Kim that she was not there, and Kim gets up and hugs her, and she's like, lies, 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 in the process of trying to hug her and everything. And Yandy is telling her about the whole Little Mendeecees situation and how she hasn't seen him in months, and she's just really expressing herself. And Kim, she pretty much apologizes, and they hug it out or whatever. And that pretty much was the episode. It wasn't, really too much. It was kind of boring. It was kind of boring, y'all. But yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. How do you feel about this season? And how do you feel this season is going to go? Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.